Got one final exceptionally short module here to round out our course on file and print services. This one titled Configure Advanced Audit Policies. Now I say short because there are really only three different topics we have to cover. Two of the three actually are kind of different shades of the same thing, and the third of which being a topic we really already discussed back in the 70-410 content. Now, back in 410, we talked about how there are different kinds of auditing and how you can apply them, a lot of times through group policy. We talked also about how you can have your traditional old school auditing, the original 9 auditing categories that were great because they captured a lot of things, but were awful because they, well, captured a lot of things. Or alternatively, the new advanced audit policies, where instead of breaking things down into 9 very general categories, you have the option of turning off or turning on some 50 plus different subcategories, much more granular subcategories of auditing that you're interested in paying attention to. Now, here in this module, we'll talk about how to implement auditing. We'll look at the basic ones. We'll look at the advanced ones. There's also a special group policy setting that you'll want to turn on if you want to use the advanced ones as opposed to the traditional ones. There is also, as you can see here, this exe here called Audit Pol, which is a little tool, kind of pre-PowerShell tool, that gives you the ability to just inventory, identify which categories or subcategories have been enabled for a particular location, and also to set auditing categories if you should need to outside the realm of group policy. Now, one of the benefits baked into these advanced audit policies that a lot of times gets overlooked when you're implementing them in the larger sense are the ways in which you can tailor down a few specific ones to create what are called expression-based audit policies. Now, you don't get these everywhere. You get these mainly when you're talking about file systems. You can also apply them in one circumstance to registry entries as well. But these expression-based audit policies are a mechanism to take the large master toggle switches that you're configuring in advanced audit policies and then dial them down to the specific files and folders that you're interested in auditing, as well as the security principles for whom you're interested in gathering that information. So if you know that you've got a certain file or folder that's important to you, and you know that there's a group of people that you're interested in as well, you can combine both of those two pieces of information here by creating an expression-based audit policy. Now, in addition to the expression-based audit policies that the exam requires, I'm going to step outside just one half step to show you one extra advanced audit policy called Global Object Access Auditing. Every so often, you may come to the situation where you may have need to audit all of the file systems for every configured server or desktop, or the entire registry for every machine. Well, Global Object Access Auditing, which is a bit of a tongue twister, provides a way for you to turn this on across every configured machine, every machine that actually gets that group policy object. With them, you can also configure expression-based audit policies if you need to dial things down just a little bit. And then for our last trick, we have this last item down here titled Create Removable Device Audit Policies, which the implementation of them, the fact that they actually exist, is far more interesting than the actual enabling of these removable device audit policies. These days, you're probably aware that the easy abilities to secret in a USB key and perhaps steal data or inject some kind of malware onto your network is a very easy thing to do. Well, there are ways in Active Directory to prevent the use of these USB key sticks, but perhaps more useful is to audit their use so at least you know where they're coming from and where they've been inserted.